Thank you for all tuning in tonight to Truth and Love Ministries, My Redemption Story. Tonight's another special night. It's going to be with Ryan Bruce tonight. Ryan had been in addiction for quite a while. We're going to let him tell his story here in a minute. Ryan is part of the family here at Truth and Love Ministries. Spent a lot of time on the street chasing Ryan, but the most important thing was Jesus was chasing Ryan down too. He was searching for him. He was looking for him. And we're just so glad today that the Lord's just changed Ryan's life so much. But we're going to introduce Ryan Bruce, one of my dearest friends. I mean, he's can't brag enough on the guy. He's been out of addiction now for a little while. We'll get into that later. But, man, life's changing for you, Ryan. And it's been amazing how much just the physical change, the change of just character. I mean, just everything's changed in him. Here in a second, we'll show you a before picture, and you can see what he looks like today. But how old are you, Ryan?
I'm 38 years old.
38-year-old. We was told one time that from the range of 35 up to around 45 was a great time for someone to get into a rehab. So we just want everybody to understand there is hope, and that's what this My Redemption Story is about tonight. Is there is hope, no matter what shape you're in, no matter what you've done. There's a God in heaven that loves you and gave His Son for you, no matter what shape you was in. But we're going to get with Ryan. I'm going to ask him a few questions and kind of we want him to tell his story. Everybody has a story to tell, and that's what these podcasts are about. They're the YouTube channel and everything. It's about them telling their story. The Bible says that we're overcomers by the blood of the Lamb and the word of our testimony. So every time he tells his testimony, we believe he's overcoming more and more and more. So, Ryan, I want to ask you a question. When did your addiction start for you?
I was approximately 13 years old first time I ever used anything, and that's when it all started.
I'll start at 13-year-old.
Yeah.
That's young. I mean, I got nieces and nephews, and 13-year-old is they're so tender. They're at an age where they're innocent at 13-year-olds, usually. And what caused you to go into addiction at that age?
Honestly, my friends was doing it, and I just wanted to fit in and started getting high. Mm-hmm. And then it just spiraled downhill from there, basically.
How long was you in addiction? From 13 till...
13 up until a little over 6 months ago.
Was you ever homeless during that time?
Yeah, I've been homeless many times. I've slept under bridges, slept in cars, and just had to do what I had to do to live.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what we want people to understand is, you may know somebody in your family, or you may be somebody that's struggling with addiction, that's living under a bridge or living in their car. Sometimes we give up on people. Sometimes we look at people and say, well, hey, the thing that bothers me the most is they'll say, well, they chose it. No, they didn't choose it. I do believe that addiction is a disease. The reason I do believe that is because we see a lot of people in addiction that'll do anything to get high, anything to get that life going. So I think that maybe one time they made a bad choice, and any of us can make a bad choice. Man, I can make a bad choice, and I have before. I've done things before that I made bad decisions in, but we're all one bad choice away from maybe having that lifestyle. But when somebody sees, I'll get John to pull the before picture up and let them see what you look like while you was in an active addiction. But we want people to know there's hope. Man, there's hope in Jesus Christ. The Bible says that He came to seek and to save that which was lost, and He said if He be lifted up, He'll draw all men to Him. And I mean, it's just such a miracle serving God, a miracle loving God. Did you shoot up, smoke, snort it? How did you administer?
I've basically done it all. When I first started, I just smoked, and then I went to snorting drugs, popping pills. Then I had a friend introduce me to the needle, fell in love with it, shot up for 13 years, had an injury to my artery, which in turn about made me lose my hand, lost fingers over it, so I laid the needle down. Still didn't learn my lesson. I kept using after that. But the past 8 years, I've basically just snorted and smoked the stuff.
You know, you get on the needle and it causes, endocarditis. It's different stuff that can take place. And, we kid you a lot, and we see you missing the fingers from the needle.
Yeah.
It's such a serious thing, and a lot of people don't understand there's a lot of things that causes that. I mean, you start shooting up and you're looking at endocarditis, you're looking at losing fingers, limbs, and different stuff. It's just, it's so terrible. And then people look and they'll say, well, why don't you just quit? But you can't just quit. I mean, you can't just lay it down.
No, it's a monkey on your back you can't get rid of.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and there's mothers that may be watching our videos, and what I always think is, a lot of times we do feel like giving up on somebody. We feel like just saying, "Hey, look, I've helped you all I can," and I tell this story a lot. I was talking to a lady downtown one day, and her son had OD'd a couple times, and she was like, and I asked her, I said, "Well, who did you turn to? Who did you go to for help?" And she said, "I had to just pick the internet up and just begin to go on my phone and Google and find a rehab that would take him." Well, with Truth and Love Ministries being here, if anybody in this area around us, if they have a daughter, a son, a loved one in addiction, they can just come to us and we can help them get out of that addiction. We can talk to them. We can pray with them and counsel them, pastoral counseling. There's different things we offer here. But don't give up on them. That's one thing we want you to know. Just don't give up on them. Speaking of family, how did your family deal with you? How did they deal with you while you was in your addiction? I know they didn't support you in the addiction. I know your family real think the world of them, kin to them, love them dearly. I know they didn't support you, but I know they would try to help you if they could.
Yeah, I mean, as far as supporting me for the most part, they really didn't. They would buy me groceries from time to time and make sure I'd eat. All they could really do was just pray for me. I mean, there wasn't much they could do because no matter how much they loved me or cared about me, they couldn't love me clean. I was going to do what I was going to do, but they was there for me the best that they could be. Yeah. But at the same time, they kept their distance because I broke their heart. They didn't want to see me like that. I mean, every time they would see me and they would leave, they would just bawl their eyes out because in the position and the condition I was in. And I understand because I've got babies of my own, and it don't matter. Like I said, it don't matter how much somebody loves you or cares about you until somebody's ready and they accept it. They're just going to keep on using. So it's not the mama's fault. It's not the daddy's fault. It ain't nobody's fault.
Absolutely. It's a thing that with your family, you break their heart. It's kind of like I've heard people say, you burn that bridge. You've burnt that bridge. And then you get to a point where maybe a lot of these people that we deal with, a lot of times they don't have family to go to, and that's why we offer the food up here. We feed 6 nights a week. But we talk about the family. How about the friends? And I'll tell you a little bit about my story. And listen, my friends on Stanton Creek, I love them dearly. I mean, they're the best friends I've ever had. I've got one buried up on the mountain. I love my friends dearly. But when I got in church, I had to make a decision. I couldn't be in that crowd no more. And listen, I get to minister to them now. I get to go up there and kind of, prod them like I did with Ryan there at one time. But it's hard to be in an active addiction when you're running with that crowd. We spoke about that earlier. Me and Ryan got to do a little counseling earlier with a young lady, but it's leaving that crowd, leaving that scene, and it's hard to do. It's hard to leave friends. You're giving up friends. You're giving up a lifestyle, the only lifestyle sometimes. Yeah. How was it for you when you, your friends? You talked about a while ago. We talked about sometimes. Downtown Eufaula in this area, if you're sick on your own, you're dope sick. If you're dope sick, somebody's gonna give it to you. So
some people help you out, and some people won't. For the most part, people you call your friends, they're not your friends. They're just acquaintances, because if you've got a knot in your pocket, that's what they want, and then the majority of them is going to run off and leave. Every once in a while, you'll have that one or two that might help you out. And it's not because they're wanting to be friendly or nice in their head. All they're thinking, well, if I help him out, then he's going to do something for me later, when I'm in need.
Yeah.
But I mean, basically, you ain't got no friends. I mean, you really don't. It's just that, I mean, everybody, they'll stab you in the back in a heartbeat. I mean, it is what it is. And people I called my brother, that I really considered my close friends, they wasn't there for me when I really needed them. When I went to jail, they wasn't there. They never wrote me. They never put no money on my books. They never had no phone times on their phones. The only people I had phone time was my family. The only person that wrote me this last stint I was in jail was you. I mean, it takes something like that for you to open your eyes, and then if you're sick and tired of it, then you just got to leave everybody alone. I mean, you really do, to turn your whole life around, and that's a big thing.
Absolutely.
Because I've been doing it for so many years. This is literally, I rearranged my whole entire life, changed phone numbers, blocked people on Facebook, and it's not that I'm being mean to people or trying to be that, but I have to, because this is my life.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's in jeopardy, and some people just don't care. They see you doing good, they're going to offer you that first hit just to get you back out there.
Yeah.
And then once they do that, I take that first hit or that first line, and it's just, you just may as well throw the cards down, because I'm not coming back.
Yeah. Yeah. And what with Ryan, I mean, we Truth and Love Ministries, we consider Ryan his family. I mean, he knows he's family with us. I mean, we'd all fight for Ryan. I mean, he's that guy. But when we started the ministry downtown, I got a kick out of the story he told me earlier. He was like, these people are weird because we was chasing you downtown. We was chasing you down with pizza. Hey, man, you got to eat for us. You got to eat. We care about you, man. He's like, who is these people? I love that story. But, that's what it takes sometimes. I mean, it takes a active church. It takes active people. If you want to see change in your community, pray about the change, but also be the change, until we get tired of seeing these things go on. And we'll finally get to the point where we're like, we're tired of this. We're tired of seeing people suffer. We're tired of seeing people drugged down. Now we've done something about it. We go out and we do something about it. So with Ryan here, we've got more help going into communities, and he's going to start helping us in our street ministries more. But it's a great thing. But what I want to tell you about, and this is the main part of this, I want Ryan to tell his redemption story. I want Ryan to give his testimony. I want Ryan. I'm not asking for an hour-long testimony. I just want you to just talk to us. Just tell us about your redemption story. I mean, I'm not going to put you on the spot or nothing like that. But I want you, because that's what we focus on with my redemption story, is when did you say this is enough? This has got to stop. This ain't the life I want no more. I want clean. I want a better life.
Well, basically last year when I was sitting in jail, been going to jail since I was 18 years old. I'll be 39 in just a couple of months. I've done, if not half my life, most of half of my adult life in the county jail, in and out, in and out. I was just sick and tired of it. I was sick and tired of jail, sick and tired of addiction. And honestly, you and John and Courtney chasing me down the streets trying to feed me stuck in my head while I was in jail, man. Y'all offering me help and everything else, and then that planted a seed in my head, and then that seed sprouted into a tree, and I was just tired of the life, sick and tired of it. I was miserable, I was broken, I was sad. I cussed God every day for letting him raise the sun up. I mean, it just wasn't no way to be, and I was just ready for a change. I just couldn't do it no more. It's tired of being broken. I just wanted to be happy. I wanted to love myself again, because it'd been so many years since I'd actually loved myself. And while I was sitting in jail, it just, like I said, I just kept thinking about y'all, man, and everything else. And so I decided in jail it was time for a change. And then when I got out of jail, I went to rehab and got out of rehab, and now I'm here. I mean, life's much better. I'm happy again. I'm not miserable. I love life. I love to see the sunrise. I mean, I used to even hate to hear the birds chirp. I used to cuss them back. What are you chirping about, dude? There ain't nothing to be happy about. I mean, why?
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty miserable when you get mad at a bird for chirping.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just, that's no way to be. It really ain't.
You was broken.
I was broken 1,000 pieces and never thought I could be put back together. And I know I say y'all, help me. Y'all planted the seed, man. But at first, if it wasn't for God, I
Amen.
wouldn't be where I'm at. If it
Amen.
wasn't for the willpower that He's gave me, I wouldn't be where I'm at. I'm not perfect.
No.
Y'all know I'm not perfect. I mean, my life's done a 180 or heck, a 360
Yeah.
at that. You know, I still cuss a little bit from time to time, trying to get better on that. But I mean, it is what it is, and it's just like I said. I need to get back more in church, but hey, if it wasn't for God, I wouldn't be here right now.
Hey, but we're working on the church part, man. You got a lot of preachers around you down here. We'll get you there,
Yeah.
man. But I want everybody to just think on this. I mean, Ryan, we see this radical change in him. I mean, he's got this just a radical change that's happening in him, and that's my redemption story. That's what we want you to think. We want you to understand that it is possible.
It is possible.
I
I went
mean-
from losing my apartment to losing everything I'm on, not having no clothes, not having a vehicle. The night I got out of jail, the only thing I had was a shirt, a pair of pants, and a pair of shoes to my name because I lost everything. I mean, it's all materialistic things, but when you're getting out of jail and the only thing you've got is a pair of clothes to your name, I mean, it's devastating.
Yeah,
I mean, it really is. And
Absolutely.
it's just time for a change. And now, I mean, I've got a really good job. I've got a vehicle. I've got my license back. I'm not using drugs. Hey, and I've got a smile on my face today.
That is awesome, man. I love that. And if it's possible for you, it's possible for everybody.
Hey, I was the worst of the worst. The
Uh,
worst of the worst.
And you know, I always poke at Ryan a little bit and say, "Hey, we got some future plans for you," because we do. I mean, you've been there, man. You've overcame this. You've overcame all this stuff in your life, and in Truth and Love Ministries is You're a family. You're a family down here, and now we're going into some different things. I'm trying to get him in on more of the talking to people because, man, it's easy for you to talk to people. You're like, man, I've been where you're at.
Yeah.
And this is so we're saying that. Of course, we got future plans for you, but what's your plans, man? What's I was telling him a while ago. I mean, I can't wait to see Ryan driving that new vehicle and living that new home because it's coming for you.
It's my goal is, I mean, I'm staying with some family right now, but they're nice enough to let me stay. I've got a good job now, back on my feet. Next step, get my own place again, get my own car again, everything else. I want to help people as much as I can in addiction and recovery because it makes me feel good to help other people because I've
Absolutely.
been there. And if people that know me in this town, they know me, and no one honestly believe that Ryan Bruce went and got clean. Ryan
Yeah.
Bruce is actually doing right. He's not out here strung out, doing whatever he has to do, sell, rob, do whatever he has to do to get by. I don't
Yeah.
have to live that. And I want to be an example to people that, hey, just as long as you don't get high for the day and you do the next right thing, anything's possible.
Anything's possible.
And like I told Matt earlier, I'm not a real big prayer, but every morning I wake up, I just say, God, help me get through the day. And that right there is enough. I mean, it is for me. Some people, not that I didn't believe in God, I used to be mad at God, hated God for a minute. And now, I know if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be where I'm at.
Absolutely, man. And I've tried to tell people, several times, it's not a one-day race. This ain't something we're going to do in one day. It's something that we're constantly working on. I told somebody earlier about the building a house. When we build a house, we build the foundation. We got to make sure the foundation's steady first.
You got to have a good foundation.
Good foundation. And once the foundation's complete, once that foundation started building, then you can build the house on it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where it goes back to the Bible talking about building on sinking sand. You've got to have that good foundation under you. And I think that being with people that has your best interest, somebody keep your accountability.
Exactly. That's the best thing to do, to surround yourself with good people that's not getting high, somebody that's going to call you out on your bull. If they look at you and they can tell something's going on with you or something's up with you that day, hey, man, what's going on? Oh, I'm okay. No, you're not, dude. Talk to me. Tell me. Somebody that's going to call you on your bull crap, somebody that's going to keep you accountable and everything else. And even if it gets to the point, like at one point in time, I had to take it minute by minute. You can't think a week ahead. You can't think 2 weeks ahead because you'll overwhelm yourself. And even to this day, I might have a little over 6 months clean, but I don't think no further till I take it one day at a time. And at first, like I said, it was 1 minute at a time, an hour at a time.
Yeah.
I mean, just to keep, because I mean, like I said, you'll get overwhelmed and then you'll get frustrated and you'll basically just say, screw it, and go right back and get high.
And you know, that's the thing. We kind of think, I can't, you know, I do things, I look out 3 months, 4 months down the road.
Yeah.
And man, my plans today don't add up with things 3 months, 4 months down the road.
No.
It don't happen. You know, it's about right now.
Exactly.
Our first starter chip, or dog tag, it says just for today.
Yep.
We live just for today. Tomorrow take care of itself just for today. But tell me more, Ryan. Yeah, I know you got some more stuff on you. So we're talking about how you want to help people. Man, you're going to do it down here.
I mean, I know I work a lot right now, but after I get more on my feet, I like to slow down with work a little bit and just talk to people, help people, anybody that needs to talk, anything like that. Like I said, I enjoy it. I get a lot out of feeling like I help someone else. If I can tell somebody my story or just tell them that I've been there, I know what that feels like. Somebody that just has a month clean or 2 months clean and they're just, oh, today's just overwhelming. I can't do it. This and this is going on. All right, man, it's good. It'll be okay. I've been there. Look at it this way. Your worst day clean is nothing compared to your best day being high.
Awesome, man.
I mean, straight up.
I love that, dude. I love that. Man, I see it in you, man. I see it. You're doing big things, Ryan. You're going to start doing counseling down here for us?
Yeah, I'd like to do stuff, start doing stuff like that and everything. I mean, if I had to figure it all out, but I would love to be able to do all kinds of stuff like that.
And we're going to, because you're part of Truth and Love Ministries, man. You're the, we always say OG, original gangster of Truth and Love Ministries, but we love you. But since we got you on camera, you just said that 6 months, a little over 6 months ago.
Yeah, it was 6 months and about a week.
I got you a Truth and Love 6 months dog tag.
All right.
I want you to have, man.
All right, thank you.
And we just want you to know we love you and we appreciate you. And
I love you guys. I appreciate every one of you. I appreciate y'all not giving up on me, because when I was laying down there in that jail cell, I honestly thought everybody had gave up on me and they wasn't no good people left in this world.
yeah,
And just to know somebody didn't give up on me and there was actually still good people left in this world that didn't want me for my money or my drugs or what I could do for them or something that would benefit them. Just somebody to be just say, hey, you doing okay today?
yeah.
I hadn't seen that in years. I mean, it's so long. It'd been, years, man. Just, I hadn't, somebody just, genuinely just want to know how I'm doing.
Yeah.
You know, if I'm okay, if I need anything, and them not want a thing in return.
It's a different lifestyle.
Yes, it is. That's why I run from you. It's because I was like, man, these people's weird, dude. They're giving me pizzas, taking pictures. Just give me a piece of pizza and you take my picture and I'm gone out of here. Just let me go. Leave me alone. Y'all's weird, man.
I agree with you, man. But it was so great. I mean, we want you to start back with our Truth and Love, because now you're weird, man. You can get
now I can be a weirdo out there trying to help people too.
Yeah. So we'll start back downtown on our ministry here before long, and we're trying to hit Jellicoe and Lake City and different places, and you know, God's raised up an army around us. You know, He's brought in, you know, Ryan. I mean, He's brought in different people that's here, you know, helping us, man. And it's just, we can't do it without you, man. I mean, we appreciate you, and we always love you.
I appreciate you guys. I love you.
So we're gonna close out tonight on my redemption story, but this one right here is Man, this and I figured we'd be crying for the end of the thing, so we made it through without crying.
Well, we
right?
made it through. I told you I didn't want to cry, dude.
Yeah.
I said it ain't happening tonight.
Yeah. So, but we want you to. I mean, never give up, man. Never give up on. Ryan's not giving up. He's going on. Ryan's family didn't give up, man. I know
No,
Ed. Ed didn't
They
give
did
up,
not
man.
give up on me. I'm really happy about that. They did not give up on me. When I come back from rehab, I had to earn their trust
Absolutely.
back because I broke it so many times and lied to them so many times. But now they trust me again. They're starting to come around, and it actually feels good to talk to my mom and my dad and them tell me, I'm proud of you for
Yeah.
the man that you've become and the man that you're being and everything else. And it feels good that I know that my mom and my dad and my mama, they don't have to lay in bed at night and worry about me if they're going to get a phone call saying I'm dead
Absolutely.
somewheres, because I never thought about that before. And I was always, it hurt my feelings. Well, why won't my family be around me? Well, they can't stand to see me like that. 'Cause I won't be able to see my babies like that,
No.
looking like I did. You know what I mean? At all. There's no way. And I understand it. I'm not mad at them for it. At the time, I might have been. But today, I understand it. And I'm not mad at them for it. It's just, there's no way I could be able to look at my babies the same way. But it feels good knowing that they don't have to worry about me with that sense that they're going to get a phone call that I'm dead today. They might worry that I might get out here and get a speeding ticket or something, but nothing major. You know what I mean? They don't
We
have
can handle
to worry.
speeding
Yeah,
ticket.
they can handle speeding tickets or anything like that, but they don't have to worry about their son dying and overdosing or freezing to death at night because he ain't got no place to lay his head and he's sleeping somewhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It feels good that my people don't have to worry like that no more.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely, and that's why we want you to know. Don't give up on them. We've been kind of saying this for a while that we think we can get anybody into rehab, no matter where you're at. We've got people that offers rehab if you've got insurance, and then we have some. Thankfully, we have places that accept you without insurance. Faith based. We are faith based here. This is all about God. Everything we do here, we want to point you to Calvary, but we also understand that in order to minister to you, you need a clear head. You need to be clear conscience or a clear mind. So we want to do that. But we want you to know there's restoration. I mean, look at you, Ryan. I mean, you've been completely restored. I mean, you.
If I can do it, anybody can do
it. I didn't want to say it like that, but
well, I'll say it. I ain't afraid to. If anybody can do it, I can do it.
man,
Or if I can do it, anybody can do it.
absolutely, man. And we worried about you on the street, but now we don't worry about you. We got you here when you're not here. We're like, man, where's Ryan at tonight? So, but it's part of the team, man. You're part of the team, and but we want you to know if you've got a loved one in an active addiction tonight, please reach out to us. Share our videos. We're trying to grow our YouTube channel. That way we can reach more people because it's all about reaching people and seeing the change. This right here's the change, man. This is what happened. This is the restoration that we've been telling people about. We're like, hey, there's restoration in Christ. This is part of that restoration. So no matter where you're at, no matter what you're doing, if God looking down through the portals of time and He seen you laying there with a needle in your arm, He would still sent Jesus Christ to die for you. We want you to have a relationship with Jesus Christ. It's so important. Last week we didn't get to be here because of graduation at Jellicoe High School. We attended the graduation. I had a niece to graduate, but there's hope, and that's what we want everybody to know tonight. Is there's hope and there's restoration in Jesus Christ. For God so loved the world that He gave His only begotten Son, that whosoever believes shall not perish but have everlasting life. That's such an amazing verse, that He came to seek and to save that which was lost. So if you got somebody tonight that's in your family or somebody that you know of, that a neighbor down the road or somebody you grew up with in school, reach out to us. See if we can get them here. If you're out of state, we've got phone numbers you can reach us at that we can call different rehabs around the United States, and we don't care to beg and try to make deals with them. So whatever it takes to get them there, to get them to clear their mind. That way we can see restoration in them, just like we've seen in Ryan. Good night. We love you all. Pray for the ministry that the door will be made, open, that we can go in and minister the gospel of Jesus Christ. Thank you, and God bless.